Well, as you all know, for years, All Saints has been about producing seasonal videos. And when I say All Saints, I really mean Sean has been producing seasonal videos. She is the brains behind the operation. I simply read what's on the cue cards. And then she puts it together and posts it on our webpage and on Facebook, and 100 and some will look at it, and will gain at least an understanding from our perspective of what the season is all about, and why we also hope that folks will join us in this communal ministry of ours. This year for Lent, our theme has to do with lightening the load while we take on this spiritual journey that the season offers us, and it should be posted probably sometime this evening. The thought is just as someone who is contemplating to take a hike in the woods judiciously considers what to put in his or her backpack, getting rid of that which is added weight, which distracts us from enjoying the walk, so too we consider lightening the load as we begin Lent. And to that end, we give up that which can kind of be burdensome to us. And for some people, it's candy. For others, it's giving up watching hours upon hours of television, or the evening's cocktail or two, things like that. And the thought behind all of that is just to become aware of the fact that stuff in one's life can be terribly controlling and getting it in the way of the relationship with one another and with God. So you get rid of it for the 40 days of Lent. Part of the discipline of giving up something during Lent also is to remember that Sundays are feast days and you break the fast. That breaking the fast for a day also reminds you that you control the stuff, not the other way around. So if you gave up Coke, have the pause that refreshes and watch a Sunday afternoon baseball game on television while munching a Hershey bar. You can do that. And then you resume the fast on Monday. Now, during Lent, there are also two major feast days. One of them is St. Joseph's Day on March 19th, and the Feast of the Annunciation, which is March 25th. And you can break the fast for those days as well. When I was in seminary, the big question was, what days constitute a day in which you break the fast? And I remember a professor saying to us, it's good that you know who the saint is that you are celebrating. That's a good place to at least start. But the prayer book basically says the major feast, and these are two of them. Now also during Lent, you are invited to take on disciplines. At All Saints, we peddle these little Episcopal and Relief development coupon books in order to have people just become simply aware of the blessings that are abundant in your life. Simple blessings. At All Saints, we also have a community offering that will go to help out the Abbey Shelter and Farm Hands. The Abbey Shelter, of course, is a shelter for abused women, and Farm Hands makes it possible to put fruit in the backpack of kids coming out of school on a Friday in Columbia Falls who might not otherwise have any food for the weekend. We have Wednesday evening gatherings around the phenomenon of Lent Madness, where we will learn much of the history, spirituality, and theology of the church while having fun trying to figure out which saints out of the 32 that we'll start out with next Wednesday will ultimately wear the golden halo. It connects us with our history. Some will take this time to concentrate on reading a gospel slowly. Take the gospel according to Mark, it's the shortest one, and have that work itself all the way out through the 40 days of Lent. Some will engage in daily prayer in a more systematic way. In the Book of Common Prayer, you'll find morning prayer and evening prayer and compline, but you can also find daily devotions that are all but one page. Anything that reminds you that it's a good idea to pray. And some, in fact, might go to the shelter and adopt a dog or a cat. That allows you to become more connected with the totality of the creatures of God. As this is Ash Wednesday, we notice in this service, especially during the Litany of Penitence, which is coming up, that we are called to come to terms with that with that which separates us one from another and one from God. They are not the most pleasant prayers that are found in the prayer book, but having said that, they're also absolutely instrumental in helping us achieve a new beginning or finding our way home. I'm sure I say it every single year at this time, that when one repents, it is as if you've been lost at night in a very strange city, and all of a sudden you discover your way back to your destination. There's nothing that relieves anxiety like finding the path home. So, this Lent, do that which will help you discover anew the wonderment and the graciousness of God, who through Jesus has bestowed upon us all, even when we know ourselves profoundly coming up short, abundant love, forgiveness, and grace. And if you do that, then we can look back and understand why the last words for this sermon are, have a happy Lent. Amen. Amen.